Hello, everyone. It is Chat with Mac. We're glad to have everyone to join us. Thank you to everyone that's been subscribing to our YouTube channel. We absolutely appreciate it. We love that it's growing. Spread the word. Let everybody know what we're talking about. We talk about some really, really good stuff every weekend that's helping a lot of people. And for those of you that are new to what we do, welcome. So, to everyone that don't know, outside of what I do here for PCSN, I love food, like love food, and I do like a weekly blog or vlog, if you will, where I'll try to go to restaurants and I give my experience and stuff like that. And what I've been finding the most difficult is the editing portion of just making sure my videos look good because in this day and age, how it looks and how it transitions and all that other good stuff is like a big thing. So I know Nadeem, for these, what we do here, I think he has an idea of some of the stuff or maybe some editing software that's good.
Most people have heard of editing softwares. There's only a few options, right? So there's a lot of people have heard about Final Cut Pro. If you're on the Mac, you use Final Cut Pro. If you're on the PC side, you use probably Premiere Pro or from Adobe, something like that. Both of these softwares, you have to buy them. They're not free, and they're not cheap, but they are good at what they do, and that's why they cost a lot of money. The software that I use for editing videos is, and I use the free version. It comes in paid and in free version. It is DaVinci Resolve. And it is
never heard of that. DaVinci
it's by a company. It's by a company called Blackmagic, and they make not just DaVinci Resolve, but they also make a lot of hardware for DaVinci Resolve. So you have controllers and cameras and all kinds of stuff for DaVinci Resolve. The thing about DaVinci Resolve is you can get a lot done even with the free version. The beauty of it is it works on both PC and Mac. So no matter what machine you have, you can install DaVinci Resolve. Everything looks the same. Everything behaves the same. It works well. It makes use of your graphic processing units. And DaVinci Resolve is really well known, not for just video editing, but it's really good at audio editing and then also color correction. So it does great color correction.
So I just want to say I'm looking at this now. I've never heard of this. I'm looking at it now and I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. Wow.
Yeah, it's professional grade. I mean, for color correction, people use it professionally. It makes life a lot easier, and it gives that professional quality to everything. Now, when we make these videos, we're just recording it in Microsoft Teams. We don't do like local recording on each side and then merge it in. We don't do any of that fancy stuff. That's why you'll see that some of the videos, the quality is not very good because it's all based on bandwidth and connectivity in Teams. Now, if we were doing this professionally, we would record it individually on each of our machines and then merge it in. And we don't spend a lot of time in editing. We just spin them out, put a few things in there, and then out they go. We don't even, like I said, record them locally on the machines. It's all recorded by Teams. We just pick up one video, throw it in there, and out it goes. And yet we can do the color corrections, some of the additional things that we want to do, we can do it on there. Now, if you were focusing on video editing, you would love some of the controllers that they have just to make your process go faster and smoother and more precise. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of hardware that you can get to accompany DaVinci Resolve. If you are pro, semi-pro, you're probably going to look into DaVinci Resolve. And if you go on YouTube, you can see so many videos people have made how to set your process up in DaVinci Resolve and how to do the color corrections, the audio editing. It's a very powerful piece of software. And you can do a lot. Pretty much you can do everything in the free version unless you're going to go professional, and then you need the paid version with some additional things.
Free versions You said, are there specific things they don't have?
You can do pretty much everything in the free versions except some of the AI based stuff. Like there are some,
Oh,
some transitions, some themes, some things like that you don't get in the free version. Now, if you pay for it, it's if you the paid version is called DaVinci Resolve Studio. The free version is just DaVinci Resolve. But for unless you're going to use the built-in AI functionality of DaVinci Resolve, you really don't need the paid version. And if you're doing a lot of work, yeah, the paid version can make some things easier, like transitions and things like that. It can automatically do a lot of things.
mhm.
That might make sense. We've never really thought of monetizing it or making it that semi-pro type deal.
Right.
We just love doing this stuff, so that's why we were
Do.
like, hey, we're talking about stuff anyway. Let's just record it and throw it out there, right? But I do run it through DaVinci Resolve because any of the titles, the color corrections, things like that, or just cutting some of the things out, I do that really quick in DaVinci Resolve.
For someone like me that has a Windows based, laptop, it could just be the answer. I
Yeah.
mean, for especially for maybe they don't have the money, for that type. I imagine the Mac environment is massively expensive. Could this be the answer for someone that has a Windows based or just
It is. It is
Mm,
Windows based or Mac based. So DaVinci Resolve is on both versions, and I run it on both my Windows laptop and my Mac.
nice?
In the office. So I use the same. DaVinci Resolve. It's set up the same way on both machines. So my the interaction is the same no matter if I'm on a Mac or I'm on a PC. It's the same thing. So yeah, like if somebody's looking for a video editing software that is free, doesn't get any cheaper than that, look for DaVinci Resolve because it's very powerful, but yet at the same time, you don't have to spend a lot of money on licensing. Anything else like Adobe Premiere, you got to pay for it. Final Cut Pro, you got to pay for it. And I used to. This was a few years ago before I stumbled on DaVinci Resolve. I used to use Final Cut Pro on my Macs, which it's good, but it's proprietary. You can't get it on the PC. And I was looking for something that that can give me the same experience on both Mac and PC. And I just stumbled on DaVinci Resolve, and I didn't know at that time, but it was a lot of professional people use DaVinci Resolve. And it's
Yeah.
very well
Wow.
known in those movie editing circles.
I see.
People use DaVinci Resolve.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a free software just to edit videos for just as a hobby, look at DaVinci Resolve, and who knows, eventually your skill set might grow, and you can start doing it on a semi-pro basis. It's got everything built in.
So does this take up a lot of memory or RAM?
On my laptop, my Surface laptop, I've got, I think, 32 gig of RAM. On my iMac, I got 32 gig of RAM as well. But I've run it on 16 gig of RAM before. It runs fine. It depends on how much video you're editing and what kind of quality that video is. And what's really going to matter is if you have a GPU or not, because DaVinci Resolve can make use of GPUs. And if you have a GPU and you're transcoding some video, you're exporting it out, you'll notice that it uses a lot of that GPU. So it really makes good use of GPU, whether on the Mac or the PC. It's
Mm.
even compatible with the new M1 and M2 chips on the Mac. So if you have one of the newer Macs, DaVinci Resolve works great. Now, the other good thing is there's also a version for iPads of DaVinci Resolve. It doesn't have the same functionality as on the PC or the Mac, but it is very similar look and feel. So you can really edit videos on the iPad and the M1 and M2 chip iPads. They're pretty powerful. The one app that I would look at into if I had to pick just one app, it would be DaVinci Resolve. And even if it was paid app, like if I had to pay for it, I would pay for DaVinci Resolve or DaVinci Studio, Resolve Studio, as opposed to paying for Final Cut Pro, which is going to be limited to Mac, or Adobe Premiere, which is going to be, you can run it on PC or Mac, but the experience is a little different when it comes to Adobe Premiere. And I'm just not a fan of Adobe products. It's just Yeah. It's Adobe Acrobat has just left a bad taste, and that's
That
why I don't
taste.
use any Adobe products. Even some of their well-known ones, like for graphic editing and stuff. I'd rather use something else than Adobe products. Premiere is a good product, but it's just uh, not it's not where DaVinci Resolve is. This software is used by a lot of movie editors as well. So it's real up there. Now, of course, if you're doing it like professionally, you're probably working with 4K or even higher resolution. So you need a powerful machine for that. But for just blogs and vlogs and things like that, yeah, 16 gig of RAM will be more than enough. And just a simple, even if you don't have a GPU, the system will use CPUs for processing. It's still fine. It works, right?
Ooh, I'm a little excited. I'm gonna play with this when we get done here and see, how it plays out.
Yeah, I would say download it. I mean, worst case is maybe it won't work. You'll uninstall it, but hey, give it a shot.
Give it a shot. Yeah.
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 So hopefully, that'll help people out, people who are looking to edit video or looking to get into this, and they can't decide what system they're going to go with. The good thing is if it's something like DaVinci Resolve, it uses the hardware that you have both on PC and the Mac side, gives you the same interface on both devices, and is very powerful. It can pretty much do anything that you throw at it, and it's just pretty well known in the editing business. It's just people who are doing it as a hobby. A lot of them don't know about it, and they end up spending money on Final Cut or Adobe Premiere or something like that. And DaVinci Resolve is the answer. Wow. And by the way, Blackmagic is not paying us to say this.
Awesome. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
I'll report back.
Mac is gonna try that out. Maybe next time, Mac, you can try it out and let us know how it went and if you had any issues. And keep in mind, if you're trying to figure out how to do something, search on YouTube. Man, there's so many videos out there for it, for DaVinci Resolve. They'll go through everything. So hopefully that helps people out. And if you at home, if you've tried it out, and let us know what you think. If you run into any issues or there's any questions, let us know what you think. I think it's the best video editing software that you can get, and on top of everything, you can do a lot with the free version. Nice. So with that, everybody, have a great day, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
We'll see you guys.
Thanks.